Hello everyone and welcome back to Niche, the Rise of Heroes. And we are here with our heroic tribe on the hard island, and so far things are going okay. We do have a friendly bearyena down here, but so far I don't see any other dangers. I think we determined everything's safe for the time being. Yes, but we do have a wanderer, and so we kind of have to keep an eye on him and make sure he's not stealing too much of our food. He did slip off this way, and last turn we actually did have something very important happen because we now have genetically compatible breeding creatures here so we have D and H, D and B, and then C and H, D and H. Now, Scorch can breed with Tulip and Ivana, but it is a little dangerous, but we do have all four genes comprised amongst the three of them, and so we do have the ability to eventually have creatures born that would have completely different genes, who hopefully would have double wings and could breed with each other. That's what we're going to try for here, and hopefully it works out. I definitely want little Scorch to be able to pass on his wing, and hopefully with the help of Tulip and Ivana they can pass theirs as well, because Scorch is the first one we've had a male with wings in this entire second generation. His father was the one with wings, but of course his mother, who I think, yeah, Ari and Rota were the ones we were breeding, and Ari does not have wings, so this is our first chance to have double wings in quite some time. Now, with that said, we're doing quite well food-wise, so I think we'll go ahead and start a new day. I don't know, I don't think we have anyone who's going to be passing away. I don't think. We had a new baby born, and that's the loner who took damage there, so let's make sure we're gathering from all these places so that we we don't lose our chance. We were gonna bring Kuro. Wait, we were gonna breed Kuro and was it Azure? I think it was Kuro and Azure. G and C, A and C. No, it wasn't Azure. D and C. We were gonna breed Kuro with someone, and now I can't remember. No, I think it was with Azure. I'm pretty sure. They had... I was bringing him over here. Now I'm a little confused. Yeah, I think because Kuro... Okay, out of everyone who has A and C, let's put... So which is more common? A or C? C is a lot more common, so... Out of the ones who don't have it, okay, Jade is related, let's see, Midas, or Rain could breed with him safely, but we were going to try, oh yeah, no, Azure had, yes, the reason we were going to take that risk was because Azure had the ram horns. It's been a little bit since I've played on the save file, so I'm still getting used to things a little bit here. And, oh yes, Rochiu managed to kill a bunny, and I think we should bring someone down here if we can. Let's see if Rain can help take out this bunny, and maybe we'll bring Clifford this way, and see if we can have him come over here, and then Rochiu can start heading back up this way maybe, because it will be his time to pass on soon. And Ghost is also getting quite old, so she's got to teach her children to tend to the healing fruit here, as they have been doing for so long. Now let's see if Raana, yes, Raana can take out that stagmole, and so let's bring Azure. Oh man. Kuro's still pretty young, so I'm not overly worried, but let's let him gather up some of those berries there. Ooh, Remiana, can you actually... Oh yeah, if it goes right there, you can. And then we'll let Lilia return this way, maybe with Rose. Maybe Rose can help her come back over here, and she can teach Rose to keep watch over the secluded berry bush. Now, we did have a new baby born here. We have Pine, and then Korana Anna was just born. She has some pretty good genetics. We still have that Velvet Paw in the family. Did we set... We didn't set their mutation menus. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, first things first. Well, I think what we'll end up doing here is we'll try and get that Velvet Paw out because it's not helping us. It's not giving us extra speed. And Stealth doesn't do anything against bearyenas. So we'll put in the normal paw right here. And we'll put in better fertility. And I can't believe I forgot to set that. Oh man. Let's try and get the Velvet Paw out of hers as well. And honestly, she's got pretty good genes. She really does. So let's go ahead and we'll put in... I'll just put in double runner leg then, so that we can try and get rid of that velvet paw, because it's not helping us. And then, of course, Tay is getting pretty old, so let's move Byron out of the nest, and then we'll put Tavi back in it and have her try to dig, and then Tay can also come and help her try and dig. And it's gonna be Tay's last turn, and then Tavi's right after hers. And so we'll let Tavi spend these last few days here in the company of her sister. They don't look very alike, but they actually are sisters. So you can see they are both the children of Hope and Quinn. So that's why he was showing up in the blue. Both of them have since passed away, but they both were a long time ago. Quinn used to mine the berry bush, and then I believe Hope, well, they met, how did they meet? Oh yeah, Hope was the warrior, Hope was the bunny hunter, and Quinn was the gatherer, and so they made quite the team. And there, speaking of bunnies, there's actually one right up here that, let's see if Remy, yes, Remy did catch and kill it. Okay, let's bring little Pine over here, and then Kosi can come back and try and breed, and Remy can catch this bunny as well. We'll have to make sure we gather those up though, because we don't want to draw any bearyenas to the nest. We'll have to do that on the next turn. Now, these guys are not quite ready. Oh, and it's Isnara's last turn too. Oh, Rome, why don't you give her the chance to gather up one last acorn there, and then how about you spend her last day by her side? These two have come to work together and have become quite strong friends, and so I feel he would want to help her, to basically be there for her as she bids farewell. She doesn't have the ability to gather from the poison berry bushes, as is the custom, but even so. Now, I do think I want to see if Willow and Axel might end up having babies here. In fact, I think there is a nest off in the grass this way, so let's try and breed them. And then see, yeah, I think we'll have Willow go sit over here. And they're both still quite young, but Willow's getting a little older. So she's not dangerously old, but she does have 8 days left. And so I think we want to make sure that we do breed them a few times. They should both be safe. In fact, they're genetically safe. So we did make sure we got the normal hind legs in there, and then... do we want to give any of these guys horns? I don't think we can. So the tradition of this tribe, I feel, except in the healers, would be to have antlers, because they are kind of patterned after our great leader Roku. And in fact, we had a Roku in this tribe that's actually Axel's dad, who kind of was meant to follow in the legacy of the original Roku. And so because of that... I think if we're going to try to breed in any sort of horns, it would be the antlers, with the exception being our healer line here, which is kind of diverged and ends up having more of the ram horns. Now, Ghost does carry the antlers, and so perhaps either Puka or, well, I guess both Jade and Tira carry the ram horns, but perhaps Puka would end up passing on these antlers eventually into the leader line. I wonder how many of our creatures actually have them. Just Puka and Ghost, and then Azurai had them, and where did Azurai get them from? I don't actually know. Azurai's parents aren't logged here anymore, and so it must have come from one of them. So that might mean we'd want to consider breeding Ghost at some point. Maybe. Is there anyone who would be genetically compatible who doesn't have that C immunity? Any of the males? Now, we did already breed her, but we might want to make sure we pass those on. Now, it's not going to be to Scorch. Byron is too young. Maybe to Clifford? Clifford has D and B. Or Midas? D and H? We might want to consider that. Maybe to Midas. If Midas is... yeah, Midas is right over here. We might want to consider that just to see if we can pass on those antlers. Now, that wouldn't really be towards the benefit of the healer line, but if Ghost does know, I'd imagine she would, that she's carrying a part of the old leader legacy in her, then we may want to consider that. And then also I think Vernon, we decided we were going to end up breeding with Jade to perhaps have one of our leaders end up kind of mingling in with the healer line and keep that going. Now, with that said, I bet Vernon could tell some stories to Ghost here, and I bet that might make her realize she does need to find someone who she could pass those genes on with. And actually, Clifford's staying down here. She may have seen him go by and realize that perhaps it would be worth talking to him about this idea. Perhaps it would be a good idea for them to try and have at least 1 or 2 babies here to pass on these this antler trait, if at all possible. Now, Clifford stands out a little bit too much to be part of the healer line at any point, but because they are kind of known for blending in. But perhaps if she's going to end up breeding to not continue the healer line as much as to continue the leader line, or that memory of the leader, then that might be a good thing. And plus, I think she knows Vernon will keep a good watch over her other children, and whose father actually passed away. And so I don't think they need to worry. I bet Glade could come down here and help dig up that root for them, though. And there is another nest right there. So let's see. Midas does strike me as being a little independent, so maybe we'll have him head this way, and perhaps Rota can follow him. Now, it is Ari's last day as well. Actually, let's make sure Rota stays by her side, as she does gather up these poison berries on her last day of life, and we'll gather their children around them so that they can keep an eye on their parents as they're about to pass away. Now, Nuvan here is the Wanderer who doesn't have very good genetics, so we're not actually formally inviting him to the family, but we do want to keep an eye on him to make sure he's not going to try and take our food, especially our healing fruits. That would not be a good thing. Now, I don't see too much left here, so I think it's mostly just Hayden, and I think we'll have her try and dig here, because I don't see any bunnies headed this way that she could help Carno catch. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll start a new day, and we'll zoom in here as we bid farewell to Ari. And there she goes. That is a friendly bearyena, so we don't need to worry. And I think, yeah, it looks like all is safe. I didn't hear any growls or anything, so we should be good. Let's see if Puka might be able... No, not quite. He wasn't quite able to catch the... Oh, let's make sure that Lilia gathers quickly there, but not quite able to catch that that bunny. So let's see. We were gonna try and... Oh yeah, we were gonna try and get Azure to this nest here, and let's make sure real quick that we gather here. Oh, I see we had some twins born. Oh, and we never actually named Raana. Well, Hyde has a very naturey name, so perhaps... What would be a good name for her? Perhaps, I think we'll name her Blossom. So we'll go ahead and name her that, because she does have a kind of pinkish, almost flowery sort of coloration, so I feel that name does fit quite well. Now, we have lots of babies born this turn, actually. Let's take a look at some of them. And it's not quite Rota's turn, but let's make sure that Ivana can help gather here. And then, can you finish off that bunny? Yes, you can. Alright, now let's go down here, and I think the first thing we really want to do is make sure that Ghost can nest right here. And then it's not quite her time, but I know on her last day she will want to make sure she gathers up those poison berries. And then, of course, Rochiu can kind of head back up here and linger around in this area, because it's almost time for him to gather the poison berries, too. There goes that pesky bunny. Maybe Puka would take another swipe at it. Oh, no, that must have been a different bunny. He didn't actually catch it. Let's make sure Vernon gets the root he neglected there. And Rain, I think, would probably want to stick with her bearyena friend and maybe try to dig up that root, without success, unfortunately. And we'll bring Scorch back here. I'll put Ivana right there. And then Tulip can also make her way back this way. I feel like Rome would kind of want to take up his old friend's place, and maybe he would call out kind of in her memory there. Now, is Azure actually pregnant? No, but now she is. Okay. We should be good there. Now, let's make sure that we have Remy on his last day. Well, actually, let's let Pine gather up one of these, and then we'll bring Blossom over here, and we'll let Kosi breed with Remy, and then on his last day, we'll let him gather the poison berries as well, and Pine can kind of keep watch over the family, and let's check out the new little ones. So we have Rokukir and Ramimi, who has, or I guess that might be Ramim, but, they both have pretty good genetics too. It looks like neither one of them got that paw that we were trying to avoid passing on, so that's good to see. What would be good names for them that would maybe match a little bit? Perhaps, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let's call Ramim here, we'll call her Meadow. And let me see here. I'll go back this way. And I think we'll call her brother, we'll go ahead and call him Spruce. So there we go, Spruce and Meadow. Now let's see if we can, let me just get that name off my list too so I don't forget which ones I've used. And Kosi can have her last baby, and we'll see on the next turn what her baby will look like. So let's see if we can actually breed Tavi and Alex one more time. Or actually maybe not quite one more time, but we will bring Tay down here and let her gather up these poison berries as part of her last day. And then Alex can gather up some of these normal berries, and Byron can come down here and gather up some of those, the coconuts that have fallen from the tree. Now, little Rokukir did not get the cracker job, but at least has it secondary. So let's see if we can name him as well. I kind of want to name him. I think we might call him Fiery, because he has a very reddish look to him, but he also has some very goldenly colored spots, and he really does look a little bit like a flame there. So let's see if we can dig up that root. Unfortunately, no, still no success. Maybe Rimiana. Ooh, these guys might be able to catch that bunny if it... Oh, there's one that's too close. Okay, well, let's see. Let's make sure Rimiana sits up there to help kind of keep an eye on things. There's only so much bunny catching they can do in one turn, though. And Glade, I think, might want to sniff out some more roots if there are any around here. It looks like there's one right up here, so maybe he can get that on the next turn. And there's quite a few over in this direction, it seems. Now, let's take a look at Axel and Willow, who may be carrying on the leader legacy. Now, we had Sisiko, who was just born, and she does have that bearyena snout and the bearyena claw, but signature of the leader, she also has a digging paw. Unfortunately, she did get the bearyena hind legs, but they're not dominant at least. So we'll go ahead and give her a name as well. And I think I'm going to call her, Zelda. And it looks like she has the potential to be a fairly strong warrior as well. She has 6 strength, which is actually more than her father, so she's got a pretty good chance of being able to be quite a strong leader at some point perhaps as well. Although I don't know if Axel's quite feeling ready to take over in name of the leader at least. He's kind of left that more up to, where'd he go? Oh, Glade. Glade is over here. Glade is perhaps the most suited to actually be a leader of them, although he really hasn't found a mate himself yet. And then Vernon has taken more of an interest in this healer line over here than in actually leading, and of course Axel found himself drawn to the bearyenas. So let's see if Axel can sniff out any roots while he's over here. There is one right here he can dig up, and we'll make sure Willow keeps a close eye on their new little baby Zelda. It looks like our young friendly bearyena may have headed over this way to check out what's going on over here too. Perhaps he was drawn by the sight of some friendly faces, or familiar faces at least. Now let's see. I think it was Jade we decided we were going to breed with Vernon, right? Yes. And so what I think we'll do here is we'll probably Yeah, that's... Yes. So I think I'll use pink for the healers because pink is kind of, I don't know, it seems like it would be a good healer color, but let's make sure we mark the middle with blue to make sure that we are relating them to the leader line as well. So we'll go ahead and keep that color scheme, and let's bring Jade right over here so she can be nice and close to Vernon. I'm not going to breed them just yet, but we will make sure we breed them in the future. And then Tira can come down here and kind of keep an eye on things a little bit lower down. Now, I think it's actually about time to wrap up the episode, and I don't see too much left for us to do here, so we're going to be bidding farewell to quite a few creatures on the next turn, and let's make sure Midas can continue to explore too. Maybe he can take a swipe at this Dodomingo again a couple of times. I get the feeling he doesn't quite like having them following him around. And then, of course, it's going to be Rota's last turn pretty soon too, so let's make sure he positions himself where he can gather up those poison berries. But it is about time to end the episode, and we are about done here, so let's go ahead and do that now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.